All right, reporting in on the worst day ever in history. Welcome to the third episode of OnBreak. They took my fucking chair. They took it away. There was an office chair in the spot that I always record. It's the only podcast recorded in the back rooms of a department store. They took the fucking chair. I don't know why they took the fucking chair. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. And I'm sorry for being so aggressive out of the gate, but like, why? It's just not here anymore. If you spend an amount of time somewhere and you occupy that space for long enough, you have claimed that as yours. You have right and ownership over it. You have control over it. Like, that is your thing. So when I say they took my fucking chair, they took my fucking chair. And they also took the other chair that was in here. And so I grabbed a new chair, and now I have a new chair, which is going to become my fucking chair. I just don't understand why. Like, what, can we just not have anything in this world? Like, is there nothing sacred? It just doesn't make sense why you would take something away like that. And I don't ever understand. Like, why are we so insistent that, like, we just can't have, like, the companies just like, you can't have nice things when you work at them, you know? It's like, oh no, you can't, like, do that during break. You can't leave the building during work hours and, like, get a sandwich or something. You can't do that. You can't just talk to people for a second. You're always gonna be moving. You can't sit down or do anything like that. There's always something like, you're always making the worker's life just the most unimaginable. Is it a hellscape, or is it just a land of, like, why can't I do that? But we got a new chair. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's really comfy. It's actually not so bad. It's not the same. It will never be the same ever again, unless I get the chair back. Sometimes they remove things and bring them back. This one feels a little different. It's kind of wild to take the two office chairs that were back here and just not have them be here anymore. Feels a little unnecessary. There's always, like, a corner for them to put them in. I don't know why. It's not like the corner, they don't need the space in the corner for anything. I don't know why they would take the chair away. It's sad. It's just like, it feels like a sign of the end times. It feels like everything is coming to a close, and like it just started, man. What do you mean? I just started. Like, this is the third one. Like, the third one, you already took away the mainstay of the thing. It's like if you just took away the secondary character. Main character's still here. I had me and I had the chair. I didn't need anything else. Now it's a one-man show, and frankly, it's a little boring. Same way I felt about the holdovers. I thought the holdovers got a little boring after they removed the rest of the cast. I didn't think their dynamic was that fun or interesting. And then there's a scene where they're, like, reveal that they both have depression, and it's like, I get it. You know, they're both clinically unwell. But, like, yeah, of course they're depressed. You know what I mean? It's not like a big reveal. It's not something, like, you really, like, depending on the character. Some characters and some people are depressed. And you don't realize, and, like, that's, like, sort of in movies and TV, that's the hook. In real life, it's just really sad. But they were both, so there's the young kid who's at the college, and there's his professor, and yeah, like, they're both very sad people. Their lives are very not well. So when I found out they have depression, I'm not, like, surprised. It's like, yeah, of course you do. Look at the fucking shithole you're living in. I don't know if it's the one that like always makes you depressed. I think that one is also under medical, not suspicion, but I think it's being researched more to understand it in a different way. It's not just like you don't produce the right amount of chemicals. It's like actually there's more to it than that. So it's really good news for people that thought they were just cooked. Because like if I also had just heard that, I was like, yeah, you're just fried. Like you will never be happy. That sucks. But believe it or not, that sucks. Sorry if you have depression. I'm sure you can still make it through. I think, yeah. Am I sure of that? I am sure of that. Because I know people who are like, have the type that's like, you're constantly at like a low. So it really is just like static, you know what I mean? And they still keep going. And they're still kicking. So I can't speak to their experience necessarily, but I feel like from outside view, I'm like, yeah, they find the reasons, and I think you can find the reasons too. And also, we're all a little fucked up. We're all a little sad in a lot of places, which is really weird because I don't think I have like a hard time admitting that. I think I find it pretty easy to look someone in the eye and be like, yeah, like today was awful. Like I got up at like way too late. I barely rolled out of bed. I was scrolling for like half the day. And then I had to go to work and I was just like, I didn't have a day. And now I'm upset at work and I feel like I would not have a hard time telling that to someone. I just feel very easy, but I don't think people really want to hear that. People really don't want to hear that even like, you ever notice, like, I feel like people don't even want to hear you say bad things about yourself. It's a very uncomfortable topic for other people. And I don't know if that's because they don't want to admit bad things about themselves, so they don't want you to admit it. So it's sort of like a response. You ever notice, I don't know, I think I've done this sometimes with people where it's like, you've been talking to them, and then, I lost my train of thought. You'll be talking to them and they have a problem, and you'll sort of like come at it from your angle. But in a lot of ways, they could be dealing with the same shit that you're dealing with, and you're like making up a way for them to get over it. But on the other hand, you're making it up so that like you don't feel bad about it. You know? It's almost like you're in denial that you even have that problem. So you kind of approach them with the idea of like, that was the radio. I gotta turn that off. So, 1 second. Yeah, that was a radio. Oops. What was I saying? I think I remember. I think I wrote it down. Hold on. Let's see right here. Ah, yes. Being 5'10" is more embarrassing than being actually short. I'm not, I'm 5'10". I think I'm 5'10". I don't know why I don't have the exact measurement in my head. I never really know how tall I am. But I'm around the 5'10" mark. It sucks. It kind of sucks being just like, just above average height. When you're short, you know, when you're short on some days, you're tall on other days. I guess I'm not speaking to like actually short people, so they're probably like, well, fuck you, you're 5'10", but let me finish what I'm saying. Let me come at it from my perspective. When you're short, you can't reach shit on the top shelf. That's just a fact of life. You can't do, it's like, you can't get up there, you know. You can't tippy toe, you can't do anything. You could maybe jump, but like, you're not going to do all that. You're not going to do all that. You're just there. You're not going to jump or leap, bounce off walls, do a double backflip. You're not doing all that shit. And when you're tall, you just get to the top shelf. And here's the one thing I will not give people. I think 5'10" sucks. Being 6 foot, being an actual tall person, I'm never hearing any, oh, you can't walk through doorways. Oh, it's hard being different or some bullshit. Oh yeah, your legs get cramped in the car and on the plane and everything. But as a tall person, you naturally get more respect, and people look up to you, and people think you're more attractive, and also you can reach the top shelf. Also, you have more muscle usually because you're bigger persons. You can like fucking beat shit out of people. You can be stronger than people. And nobody's gonna fuck with the tall guy. You're gonna fuck with a 5'10" guy. What's a 5'10" guy gonna do? Honestly, I'd rather fuck with the 5'10" guy than the 4'5" guy because the 4'5" guy had to get through his whole life as the 4'5" guy, and he's still here. I'm not fucking with the 4'5" guy. That guy's been through some shit. 5'10" guy? I'll beat the fuck out of the 5'10" guy. I know I am the 5'10" guy. I know what the 5'10" guy can do. 5'10" guy doesn't have shit on me. I know his moves, I know his kicks, I know his punches, his leaps, his jumps, his hops, his schmops, his skips, and his stops. I know everything about the 5'10" guy. Okay, I'm not messing with the tall guy though. I can pretend like in my head I can think about it. In my head I can sit there and be like, if I was fighting someone who was like really tall, I would like leg sweep them, and then like the bigger they are, the bigger they fucking fall. Pussy. However, that's not real life. And even if you think you can do that, the immediate counterpoint, some people will be like, you're not going to beat a tall person, that's too hard. Because they'll beat you and they'll punch you or they'll pick you up. And they could pick you up, and if you get picked up, you're done. Like, you're also like in the perfect striking range. But if you get picked up and you can't even reach their face, oh wow, you are toast. There's no getting out of that one. There's absolutely none of it. So if you get picked up, you're done. But also, like, if you ever like had tried to fight a tall person, they just put like their long, lanky ass arm on your forehead, and like you couldn't get them. That's how you know. You're just like, I'm not built for this. I'm just not. Oh, I would slide underneath their legs, and I would do judo flips, and I do that. And if you know how to wrestle, then it's not saying, yeah, of course, if you know how to wrestle, you would beat people up more. If you're more trained to do so, of course. Of course. Right? But we're talking about the average Joe here. And being 5'10", being the average Joe, is really annoying because when you try to reach that top shelf, you can reach it, but only if you get on your tippy toes. And you look like a complete bitch doing it. It doesn't matter what you're picking up off that shelf, you look like a complete bitch doing it. There's no manly, assertive, dominant way for you as a man to get on your tippy toes and nudge something off the top with your little finger, and then you carry it on your big fingers, and it looks like you're about to drop it as you have to slowly lower it to the ground, and you do that, and then you go, whew, thought I was going to drop that. That sucks. It's really annoying. Also, you have to squat down still. Squatting down as a tall person does seem like ass. I'll give you that. If you got to squat down a lot for your job or do anything like that, and you're tall, yeah, okay, that probably reeks. But I honestly think being a little tired. I honestly think being short is kind of sick. But honestly, I'm thinking about being short, and then I'm thinking about like the only short person I'm thinking about would be like jacked out of his mind, because he was like, I'm short. This is me if I was a short person. I'd be like, since I'm short, I gotta get completely ripped and shredded. Nobody's gonna mess with me then. But then also it's like, it's not enough. It would never be enough. It would never be enough. You couldn't look that tough. I wouldn't look that tough. My whole facial structure wouldn't let me look that tough, I don't think. I think if I ever tried to be intimidating, Like, really? I've never tried to intimidate someone before. I've told people I'm going to beat them up. 99% of the time it's a joke. 1% is like, I've never really been like, I will beat you up if you do this, and meant it. I have gotten into quarrels before. I won't say I got into fights before. Fighting is like a real, like, both of you gotta be in it to win it. I've like hit people, and like people have hit me. But I don't think I've ever really gotten into what I would call a fight. And my face. My face is not meant for intimidation. It's just not. It's like funny looking. I don't think I'm ugly per se, but it's just something. There's something funny about it. I think. I look at it and I think there's like just something in a different kind of comedic way. I got a weird looking face. Not weird like Jim Carrey facial expressions. You know, not weird in a way that would be offensive. Just there's something off about it. Something just slightly off about it. And then I'll see people on like the subway. And by the way, on the subway the other day, the subway stopped so bad an entire train car of New Yorkers took an entire step. And like, whoa, we almost fell. If the entire subway car stops and that's the reaction from New Yorkers, from seasoned veterans, something is horribly wrong. Something bad is going to happen. Like, that's how it felt. I've never seen a car shift its weight so heavily before on the subway. Oh my god, the entire train car. It was a packed subway too. All took a step. It's scary. Like, you don't want that to happen. Something bad is going to happen. That's like when the dentist is looking in your mouth and they go, oh. The doctor's like, we got the results back, and ooh, golly, you're not gonna like this. Do you want the good news first, or do you want the bad news first? It's intimidating, but I'll be on the subway and like, you're not, like, in New York, you don't really look at people that much. I try to sneak glances at people, because I like people watching, and I like seeing what other people are up to. I like observing, but it's a lot harder in New York. People, you notice that, like, one, I don't think people enjoy being looked at, and also, I think there's something about it. I feel like people are more aware. It feels like they're more aware that someone's watching them. I think it's because you're the only person, when you're trying to people watch, you're the only person on that subway car that's like trying to. Everyone else is like tired, or they're like just going to work, or they just live there so they don't care. So when there's like one guy on the train like looking at everybody, tilting his head back and forth and doing all that, they know something's up. They know. And sometimes, but that's the thing, is like, that's what most people are. There are certain people who live in New York that really, really love being tough. And they just are constantly scowling at everybody. And they're the only other people. So there's me, there's like one people watcher, because I moved to the big city and I'm like, oh wow, all these people, this is so crazy. I never knew that people existed in this amount of quantities before. Wow, you know, and then the only other people looking are like these just really old men. Not really old, but old guys. There's sometimes just like a younger guy trying to look tough, but mostly it's like men in their like 40s to like 60s that like, they just look mad. They're just fucking pissed for like no reason. But they look like well kept and like showered. I think if you're mad, you know, because you're mad out of the ordinary, you look kind of off for that day. And people kind of notice, it's like, oh, you know, he's having a rough day. But they are like very clean. They're having a perfectly normal day, but they're just fucking pissed. And I don't know if they're just angry at the world. I think they are. But it's also like, I think it's like when you're young and you try to look tough, it's like a defense mechanism from the rest of the world. And like you're young, so you kind of have to, in a way. You have to steel yourself and sort of like be ready for anything. And sometimes you got beef with people. Depending on where you are, you got beef with a lot of people. I don't know, maybe you just don't want to look like a chump. Maybe you just don't want to look like you want to get mugged, so you put an act a little bit, something like that. But then, like, when you're like 40 or 45, it's like, get over it. Just get over it. Be angry at home. Do all that shit you're gonna do in your angry life. But anger is for the youth. Anger is not for the old. Then it's just sad. Because what are you angry at after all this time? You've been mad like your entire life, man. And like, it's one thing to be angry, and I can be sympathetic and be like, yeah, like, shit happens. You grow up in a certain way, and things happen to you, and you're mad, and it's all right. But to just scowl at people on the train is like really sad. Because, like, right, who are you trying to impress? Nobody wants beef with you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. And you don't look tough. Because you're either way too skinny because you're frail and old, or you got a bit of a dad gut. And you're just just a little tubby. And then it's just like we can see the wrinkles on your face. And you're just constantly mad. It's like, you don't have as much time left, man. You're allowed to be angry when you're young because you're like out there doing things. It's like, no, you probably have your life on paper figured out. You're probably working a job that you can sustain yourself. But so like, why are you so angry? And like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll talk to you. Hey man, you feeling okay? Talk to me about it. Like I'm saying, I know it's not hard. I'm not like trying to ostracize you. But you're trying to ostracize yourself from everybody by scowling at them. It's like, what? I don't even know you. Why are you looking at me like that? I didn't do anything. Now, will I judge people sometimes and then sort of like scowl in the opposite direction? Yeah, I do. Because I'm like, what the fuck? Are you really? Really? I understand you as a person, and it's nasty. But they're just so mad. As you'll hurt your damn face muscles. You can notice when someone spent most of their life scowling, because their face is like physically contorted from doing it all the time. So mellow out a little bit, man, or just keep it at home, or something. Something. This new chair is sending me right to sleep. I am at like such an all-time energy low. To be fair, I also didn't sleep that much, but like, I'm sorry, old chair. This one might be better. I mean, you ever I think I have a very active imagination. If I'm like tired enough and I just close my eyes and I just like let the thoughts in and I let like the ideas form and they start visualizing in my head, it's like it's right there. You didn't have to get high for this. Like, I didn't have to get high to imagine the subway car falling into the underwater ocean and then meeting an octopus that looks like a toucan. And he goes, "Hello. What is your final wish?" And people on board are all blue zombies. And they've reached the end. And they all lurch forward and they cling to the glass. as the toucan swallows them whole. The toucan's eyes light up as he feeds on the regrets of the damned. He is the strongest of them all. Then he gets eaten by an armadillo. That's a chill as fuck armadillo. He is so cool, man. That armadillo is so fucking cool. I can't believe he fits in those pants. They fit him just right. Oh my god. He's bouncing up and down. He's playing basketball, dude. Wow. Don't go to work high. I'm not high. But don't go to work high. I don't think it's worth it. I've thought about the idea that I don't really get high that much. I like very rarely, I swear. But yeah, you probably shouldn't do it. Also, it's just like if you spend enough time not being high, you'll realize that like there's other things. There's other things to enjoy. It really is. I'm not always looking for a beer or a smoke or a nothing. A lot of the time I want hot chocolate. And a lot of the time that hot chocolate hits like crazy. It's really good. Also, weed crafters, the ones that make the brownies and stuff like that, and the gummies. The gummies were impressive, I guess. You gotta come up with new weed food. There's a whole market untouched out there. You really have to make a whole weed diner now that it's legal, and make like everything underneath the sun, and make it taste really good too. And I'm telling you, that is a fucking business idea. Just get a professional chef, and make him make the best fucking edibles ever. Like ever. And I'm not talking just like a gummy or a brownie. I mean like Parmesan chicken parm. Like make a baked chicken parm. And you can name it funny things like baked chicken parm, because you'll get high when you eat it. And the store could be called Baker's Dozen. I think baked is kind of I'm not in the lingo of weed right now. I think baked is kind of old though now, right? Maybe I have to call it something else. I don't know. You could call it like something to do with trip. Maybe like eat and trip. Eat and trip. That's bad. That is a terrible name. That is a horrid name. But I think this is like a great idea. I really do. I'm not gonna do it. I would feel a little ashamed. But like really, like take this idea and make it into a thing. I'll give you full control over it. 'Cause like it's right there. And with weed becoming, now that it's legal and it becoming less of like a what's the word for a stigma, a social stigma and things like that, it's like that was not a bad idea. Like beer has become has been a standard for dining forever, you know. And I think if you're gonna introduce, like, I don't think many people, I don't really know, but I don't think many people would like the idea of going to a restaurant and everyone's just smoking and it's getting in your lungs and it's ruining the wine, and it's like, that would be annoying. I'm sure some people would like it. I think it would just take the fun out of it for me personally. And also, weed is not so immediate. You know, it usually takes a second to kick in, right? I assume. I really don't smoke that much, so I've never actually smoked. I've only had edibles. So, You should just make the restaurant the weed itself. I think it's a fantastic idea. And then you could have a room for being high if you don't want to leave. Just make it really cozy. Actually, just make it really cozy. Pay for like an hour. And you get the full experience. You could pay to like save your table. That would be a nightmare. Don't do that. Don't pay to save your table for longer than you're allowed to be there. That's too much. Just eat like a normal restaurant and then probably leave. But I think a lot of people would go in there, get high, and then just like sit. So I feel like you have to have some plan for that to happen, and you can't discourage it, because no one wants to think that after they're getting high, eating your weed-infused chicken fried rice, no one wants to like get out immediately after that and feel like they have to go do something, because you're having a good time. You're getting high. This is like such a good idea. It really is. I think this could work out. It doesn't have to be a thing on like every block. I think you could make this restaurant in one spot, and I think people would flock to it. I think it'd be a great attraction. And I would probably do it like one time. I probably would. Because it's like right there. You have the munchies right there. I've never gotten the munchies. Again, I don't get high that much, so I don't really know. But it's right there. It's right there. If you've never gotten high before, it's not all that, personally. I don't think. You should do it at some point in a safe environment. I really do think you should, because it's not going to like hurt you. You should, but it should be in a safe environment where you feel that you're around people you're very comfortable around. Don't do it with strangers. Don't like do some weird back alley deal. No, there's like official stuff to get something small, and then just do it. And then I think the thing about weed is like, I think it's appropriate when the thing you're doing is inherently not that interesting. So like people are like, oh, you should like watch like a crazy movie or something like that. You get like a crazy trip out of it. I would rather get high and watch Antiques Roadshow. That sounds like one of the best days ever. That would be sick. Awesome name for a serial killer that smokes a lot of marijuana. The Weed Whacker. You know what I'm saying? The Weed Whacker. Because he whacks people. And he's on the weed. So, like, I have a cat. But, well, I do and don't have a cat. But I have a cat, and I think sometimes I'm like, if someone saw me around this cat, and, like, I was being so nice to the cat, wouldn't they be like, dude, he's so, like, fatherly. He's, like, he's taking care of this, like, poor animal, and he's, like, really good at it. But, like, even if people did think that, which I don't think they do, I really don't think people care that much. It's a cat. It can take care of itself. It's a dog. It's a dog. I don't care. I care more about the dog and the cat than the person taking care of it than anything else, right? But cats and dogs and animals in general, like, they're not, like, a good sense of whether or not someone, like, is a moral person or not. And having the animal like them does not mean that that person is a good person. Now, if the animal didn't like them, that's, like, obviously a bad person, right? Because clearly it's, like, being abused or something like that. But like, I think there's this idea that like all animals are like pure of heart, and like they can see to your soul, and if they like you, then that must mean you're a good person. No, no, the fuck no. If you feed an animal and you consistently give it food, it does not care what you say. It doesn't care who you are, what you say, or what you do. If you treat something with love, it's going to love you. It doesn't make you a good person. Like they don't have like a sense of morality. So like if you ever see me like taking care of my cat well, don't think anything of it. I could be evil. I could be a terrible human being because like they don't know. They simply don't know. And like maybe they don't care, but like cats get a bad rep, for being like they're so dastardly, and like if you die they'll just fucking eat you and things like that. But like honestly, dogs aren't much better, because like you can have a lot of bad people have a dog and the dog still loves them no matter what they do. Oh, because they're ignorant, it's okay that they're complacent with whatever this thing the person is doing. They don't have a written or spoken language. They don't understand concepts. They understand very simple things like pets and hugs and treats. It's like it's just so easy. And that's for every animal. Just about every animal, Maybe like orangutans, maybe something like that. Like, yeah, the orangutan's fucking intelligent. Like, they can snuff shit out, and they'll lie to you. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm an orangutan. I'm so stupid. Please give me food." And then they do it, and they're like, "I don't give a fuck about this person. I hate this person." And then they dab them up anyway. Bastard orangutans. You absolute dogs. I fucking love orangutans. Orangutans are so sick. It's kind of a bummer that like I'm not gonna live to see the time when like orangutans are just one of the bros. Cause like eventually they'll probably start talking, just be like, "Hey, what's good, man?" Like shit. Got my brother from Mother Nature. Yeah, dude. Okay, there we go. That'd be pretty cool, right? I wonder if they wear pants. I don't know. Right? It's like, I'm a monkey dog. I don't need to wear pants. It's like, come on, bro, just put on some pants. Albert the orangutan, just put on some damn pants. Dude, I'm a fucking chimp. I don't need to put on pants. Dude, please. My girlfriend's coming over. Your girlfriend? The one with the fat ass Albert the orangutan? Stop talking about her that way. I don't know, man. I don't know anything else about her. Because when she talks, I can't hear her over her ass. Albert, stop, bro. Stop it. Put on some fucking pants. At least a shirt, Albert. Ugh. Fucking dickhead. Look what I can do. And then you like climb on like trees so easily. And you're like, what can you do, stupid? Opposable thumbs, got those. Yeah, got those because you were so special. You were so special for the past billion years. But guess what, bitch? Got those. They don't need you. We don't need you, man. Albert, your family history doesn't even go back 2 generations. Oh, someone's a little specious there. Okay. Yeah, so since my grandfather couldn't speak any language, couldn't speak English, Chinese, French, since he couldn't do none of that people stuff, my grandfather is less than? He doesn't even have a soul? Is that what you think? Albert, I didn't say that. It'd be really fucking funny, though. It would be horrible, and atrocities would happen if we tried to integrate orangutans and chimp-like species into society. Because what the fuck, dude? Like, people are already racist. This would not go over well. It would, but it has to happen eventually. They're getting so damn smart, right? A long time from now, if we even make it that long. It would probably take so fucking long. Yeah, there's probably, no way that I'm being remembered by the time orangutans are walking around with pants. And a baseball hat. And a suit and tie. Yeah. God, I want to meet a chill-ass orangutan. Not like fucking Albert. That dude's a dickhead. That dude's an asshole. Do you think they would still speak orangutan? Do you think they would communicate through hoots and hollers? Just so that people don't know what they're talking about? They might just make their own language, too. If they're given enough space to do so. Really awkward, though, talking about family history and things like that. It'd be really weird. Can you imagine the orangutan, the self-heading orangutan sticking up for humans instead? Listen, I'm just saying, if we want to integrate into human culture, we need to put on pants. Hey, fuck you! My ancestors didn't wear pants for their entire lifespan. And now this new age says that orangutans gotta wear pants. And the old orangutan says that that's just the way it was. That's just the way it was. Wearing pants, wearing pants. Fuck you, you old bastard. What the hell is wrong with you? Wearing pants. Fuck you. I got far away. I got far away on that one. Dogs. You ever see someone throw a frisbee to a dog instead of a ball? You asshole. You're just some over compensating prick teaching a dog how to catch a damn frisbee instead of a ball. What? Like, why? It's just a little performative, is all I'm saying. It's performative to have the dog catch a frisbee instead of having the dog catch a ball. Because frisbee's hard to pick up off the ground, and it's way easier for them just to get a ball and chomp on it. Frisbee is like you are trying way too hard. I know you're a little angel. You think he's all of that, and your little dog angel is gonna go to the best colleges, and he's gonna get the best grades. And he can never do any wrong. And he's gonna donate to charity. He's gonna be such a good person. He's not gonna take care of you when you're old. He's a dog. He's a damn dog. Just throw him a ball. He's not gonna know. I know that's hard to say nowadays, but the dog doesn't care if you throw a ball or frisbee to him. A duck is a duck is a duck is a dog. It's a dog. I say it like it is. I don't know what to tell you. It's a damn dog. We did start putting children on leashes, though. Which is crazy. Which is crazy bad. But part of me gets it. Like, right? Part of me really understands. I would never do it. I would never put my child on a leashed harness. You know, that's just, it's just like you shouldn't, I'm gonna say it, I know no one is saying it, you shouldn't put people on leashes. It's just like the similarity is right there, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just wrong. But on the other hand, it's like, wow, they really are just, their kids are so good at just running away. Oh, God. I'm not going to finish what I was thinking. But yeah, kids just, they're just wandering about, and I kind of get it. Instead of like going after them, like, Jermaine, honey, where are you, Jermaine? And like the kid is an asshole. He's probably playing in the bush. No, Jermaine tries to hide in the bush one more time. Get over here! Get over here, Jermaine! Look over here! try to hide from me? Get over here! You punk ass Jermaine. Fuck you. Oh, he's running away. Kids don't operate on logic. They just don't. And some operate on really annoying logic, like hiding unintentionally, because they think they're so fucking funny. I'm not gonna be so fucking funny when I drag their ass across the pavement with the chain I attached to their scalp that they need bolt cutters to break. Not the scalp. That's probably a little intense. So just do it. I don't know. Maybe like. Oh God. Never mind. Shot collars would be crazy. Oh my God, that'd be horrifying. You imagine seeing a kid just walk away 10 steps from his mom and you start spazzing out? Holy shit, that'd be bad. Might as well just get a fucking baton at that point. Beat him into submission. Holy shit. Now he knows not to go away. Because that's what it is. Like, you've attached dog logic to a human being. That's crazy. That's insane. Like, holy shit, dude. There's no world where the human leash comes before the dog leash, right? Like, can you just, like, process that for a second? Well, the kid is stupid, and so is the dog. So basically, it's the same thing. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the dog logic doesn't make sense either. If the dog really trusts you. I've seen dogs walk around without leashes. They're fine. I've seen dogs walking around without leashes, and the owners are so trustworthy in them that they're not even paying attention to them. They're just, like, on their phone and, like, walking through the city. So, like, yeah, maybe the dog leash in the first place is kind of crazy. Now, my argument with that is, like, Chihuahuas were bred from, like, attack dogs. And I don't want that little thing getting anywhere fucking near me, so you better get it back. Or else something bad's gonna happen. And the dog doesn't listen to reason. I think that's also it. Like, you need to teach kids reason. Putting an adult on a leash makes no sense, right? Because they're an adult. But you think a kid is like, no, you need to just actually teach the kid why he's not allowed to walk and hide and do things like that. Not that it always gets through to them, right? Because it doesn't. And you can't even explain half the shit they do. And they'll even lie to your face and be like, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. So their eyes jump back and forth left to right, and that devilish smirk comes on. Okay. Sorry, Mom. I won't do it again. Get over here. I don't think it should exist. I'm very against it. But I imagine scenarios where the leash is just so much more practical. Never get away from me ever again. I might just threaten if I have a kid, I might just threaten them with the leash. I'd never do it, but I'm like, if you do that again, I'm putting you on the leash. No! Not the leash. That'd be too fucked up. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. But I would, like, grab the kid. You know, if they start going the wrong way, I'm gonna grab them. Not aggressively. Unless they're aggressively walking into traffic. You know, that's when the grabbing comes out in full force. You're right? Because you have to. But if the leash is right there, you just got one to reach. I mean, really. It just makes so much practical sense. And it does. It does. It honestly does. It does. I got called a leash kid once. I didn't know how to feel after that. It was like such a jump. I can't believe I got called a leash kid. I was not on a leash as a child. It was just like, oh, you were a leash kid. No, I wasn't a leash kid. Don't say that. My parents raised me right. I wasn't a leash child. I was just telling a nice story about being a kid. It was just a nice story about how I used to have Lightning McQueen shoes, and they were really cool. And then adults would be like, "Oh, I bet you can go real fast in those shoes." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can. Watch." And they had little tires on the back, so I kind of always like imagined that my shoes were cars. They were cool. And then I got called a leash kid for it. Why? No, I wasn't a leash kid because if I was a leash kid, I couldn't run really fast because I wouldn't be able to run anywhere. I'm not a leash kid. Stop saying that. It was also just so passive. It was just like, I don't know a leash. I've never met someone who was on a leash as a kid. I guess I don't really ask. It's probably extremely embarrassing. So I'm sorry if you're leashed as a child. It wasn't your fault. You didn't have a choice. You should honestly take it up with your parents. And I think you may want to file a little tiny lawsuit. Just slip it underneath the door one day. Just right in there. Borderline abuse. Borderline abuse. I don't really care how close you are with them right now. I don't think you should have been leashed as a child. And I don't think they should get away scot-free. I'm coming for them. Oh, man. Being a kid is a funny, funny thing. So funny. It's also really weird how fast you become a human being. For a long time as a kid, you're just not up to par. Like, your brain is just not there. But then, like, I think it happens, like, if you've, like, been around kids, you kind of realize, like, by the time they're, like, getting into middle school, they're in, like, end of, like, elementary school, they're, like, really, like, having thoughts. It's kind of crazy how many, like, thoughts they're having. And I think about it, too, because if you ever worked, like, fast food and stuff like that, like, or just like retail, you know, or just worked any job, frankly. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I mean worked a job as like a younger person, maybe like you're 16. I worked a job when I was like 14, and like I was having conversations with people. They weren't good conversations. That was pretty awkward. I didn't really know what to fucking talk, but also like of course they didn't know what to talk to a fucking 14-year-old. You know, how do you talk to a 14-year-old, right? But honestly, you just talk to them like a normal human being. You talk to them like an adult. But you just recognize that they're stupid. And they don't know they're stupid. But you just, like, you talk about them and, like, hear them out. And then, like, if they say something stupid, you should just be like, no, that's dumb. And I'll tell you why. You can't just say, that's dumb, you're 14. You can say that. I think you're allowed to say that when they're, like, 5. But also that would hurt their feelings. So don't say that either. It's kind of hard to argue with a 5-year-old. Like a 14-year-old, you gotta like actually argue with them and like tell them why that's dumb. Because they might honestly have a good point. You gotta hear them out on it just a little bit. Yeah, so don't disregard the youth. You gotta their brain seep in. Also, I thought I was an adult for a really long time. Like, I really did, you know. I always wanted to be an adult. I was like, I want to be respected in a conversation, you know. I want to say things that contribute to that conversation, and I want things to bounce off of that conversation. I want to be a fine member of society. And it was awful. I think as a kid, you really should just do whatever the fuck you want and don't worry about shit. Literally don't worry about anything. Except doing heavy amounts of drugs and alcohol. Don't do that. That's the one thing I don't really think you need to do as a kid. Don't think that's really necessary. You know? I really don't. You can do some. You can even do a little bit too much, but I don't think you should do too much. But everything else stupid, do stupid shit. Stupid shit you won't die from, and then it won't hurt other people. Do just the right amount of stupid things that are safe enough. They can be a little dangerous. Here's like an example of like, okay, that's like safe enough. Is like climb a boulder. Not a big boulder, not one if you fall off, you'll crack your head open and die, but one that like you scrape your knee on. You should do that. You got to take some risks, especially when you're young, because you don't get as many chances when you're older. You don't get a lot. That scraped knee could end up real fucking bad if you're climbing at the wrong age. So don't do stupid shit when you're older. Do stupid shit when you are young and you're allowed to. All the time. Don't worry about being an adult ever until you need to, because you really don't need to. Even like, I think the only time you need to be an adult is like senior year. Once you get to like high school, like senior year, that's when it's like, okay, let me apply to college. You know. And the whole thing about grades, like maybe you want your grades good earlier. People, we don't need all those grades. Throw them out. I'm not giving that advice for real. I don't know. It's a tough world out there, and God, it's tough in academia. They're going through it, and also people attending it are going through it. It's a lot of things that cost a lot of money, so I don't really know. But what I do know is that very soon we'll be returning to work. So we started this one off a little hot. We lost a chair. As always, I hope you're doing well. I hope your work shift is doing well. My work shift is all right. I did get sunburnt over the weekend. Independence weekend happened. So I was sitting out at a lake, and I just sat in the sun for like 8 hours straight. No sunscreen. And like, I'm not that kind of white person. I'm like pasty as fuck. So don't do that, is what I learned. I am a fully functioning adult. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I was like, God damn it. I just want to see what happens. And I found out what happens, and you get burnt. And you go to work and you don't want to wear a shirt because your chest is burnt. And it's really itchy and annoying and irritating. But other than that, I'm doing fine. I just have to get over that. So that's how my day is going. But I had a good weekend. I had a good Labor Day. It was nice. It's a good time. Many good times were had. So I don't know if everyone gets Labor Day off. I don't even know why Labor Day exists, because it's a holiday, but I don't think you necessarily get it off and you're the laborer. I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, I hope you enjoy the rest of your... I do hope you enjoy the rest of your work. And I know it's kind of hard for some places if you don't got the right thing, but I just hope it goes well. If nothing bad is happening, I hope you're existing in that like nothing bad is happening space in a way that is like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. So yeah, get into that mindset, and I will see you next time.